Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Roger Paul, and tonight we're going to continue our study in the Urantia book. We're on section number 2, part number 2 tonight, and we're going to be starting in part number 2 on paper 32. And that's the right paper. It's funny, I was reviewing our recording of this from years ago, and I started on paper 33 instead of 32. So if you go out to the recording, it's a little messed up at the beginning. I had to explain myself. So this is paper 32, the evolution of the local universes. And
Roger, can I say something here?
Sure.
I write the name in the margin of who's reading. Yeah. And for this paper, it was only you and Diane, Rodney, and me.
That's right. It was. It was
just the 4 of us.
Just the 4 of us. That's right. And I had to read too because we didn't have very many people. Remember back then.
Nice and cozy.
Nice and cozy. We got through the entire paper in 2 hours, which was pretty good, I thought. So we won't get through this paper tonight in 2 hours, so I guarantee you.
Are you trying to say that I hold you up?
Huh?
Are you trying to say that I hold you up?
No, well, I go into a lot more detail than I used to on these things. So I went through them pretty quick. I mean, all the papers we got done within 2 hours.
The other 2 pupils were more intelligent than Tim and I.
No, but I was trying to get through the whole paper in a 2-hour period on each one of these when we did them. And I think all of them were less than 2 hours, every single one of them. But when we went through this time, I just decided I was going to take my time and we're going to study it in great detail. So that's what we've been doing. Let's say a little prayer and get started for the night. Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight that we might study this wonderful revelation. We thank you for this group that comes together each week, a couple times a week, and all of our Facebook family and our YouTube family and Vimeo family. And we thank you for those that come and watch, the many people that come and see our videos. So it's really great that they do, and we appreciate them. Pray to open our hearts and minds tonight that we might remember some of this and share it with our friends and family. And we thank you. We give you the praise in your son, Michael, Jesus of Nazareth. Amen. All right. Here we go. The evolution, before we get started, I want to show you something on the screen. You see the little, on the title, the evolution of the local universe? See that little asterisk there? Mm-hmm. Remember I explained this last week? Yeah. Let me hit it and let me show you what it says. Changed from the first printing, part 2, the local universe, heading removed from the top of the paper 32. Part 2 is defined by the title page just prior to paper 32. Removing the duplication is therefore a reasonable standardization. So they removed it. And there is no title page for, well, I just lost the paper, didn't I? There is no title page in the electronic version like there is here. The title page on this is this one right here. And that's where we go to evolution of the local universe, right? But it does say part 2 there. I wanted to point that out to everyone.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When we define local universe, we're defining it as 1/7 of the super universe.
No, no. 1/700th of the 700,000 of the local universe. There's 700
local super universe.
Oh, the super universes all together, all 7 of them. So there's 700,000 local universes in all 7 super universes. That means there's 100,000 in super universe number 7. So our local universe is 1 of 100,000.
So we're dealing with, like I said, I said it wrong, evidently. 1/7 of the super universe.
No.
No.
It would be 100,000 of the 7 super universe. Wait a minute, give me just a second. We're going to get down to a chart. You're going to see it down here.
Okay, maybe.
Okay. It'll make more sense, right? All right. So why don't you start reading, dear, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Paper 32, The Evolution of Local Universes. A local universe is the handiwork of a creator son of the Paradise Order of Michael. It comprises 100 constellations, each embracing 100 systems of inhabited worlds. Each system will eventually contain approximately 1,000 inhabited spheres.
Yeah, let me stay there. Okay, so the local universe, it states here, is the handiwork of the creator son, right? A creator son, one creator son of the Paradise Order of Michael. All the creator sons are considered of the Order of Michael. Michael was the original son of God. You with me still? Okay. So all creator sons are considered the Order of Michael. That's Ruby calling me back. Rudy, let me call you back. All right. Okay. So all the creator sons are of the Order of Michael. So that's why they're all called what? Michael sons, right?
You look at the arrow.
So they each have individual names other than just Michael too. You follow me? And these are their spiritual names. Now, our creator son is known as Jesus of Nazareth because of his 7th bestowal. Okay, so we call him Michael and Jesus of Nazareth both.
But you can only go, I mean, just follow the arrows, that's all you do.
Right? He's talking to someone else, I think. All right. So each local universe comprises of 100 constellations. So there's 100 constellations for every single local universe. All right. And each one embraces 100 systems of inhabited worlds. So there's 100 systems inside the constellation. All right. And each one of the systems will eventually contain 1,000 inhabited planets. Okay. We're at 619 when the book was created. Okay. So this little chart helps break this down, and we lost Gary.
You're worried about fiberglass falling out?
All right, so he's going to miss this whole explanation. Yes.
Roger,
Can you mute?
Yeah.
did you say each constellation will contain 1,000
Up through that
planets?
fiberglass.
Each constellation, no, the whole local universe will contain 10 million planets.
No, each constellation.
Each constellation will contain
It was just right up there.
700,000.
I know, you said that 7 times.
Oh, the screen.
So what's that?
Can you please mute Gary?
Yeah, let me see if I can't mute Gary here.
1,000. 1,000.
Right, 1,000. Let me mute Gary and I'll have to tell him he's unmuted him. Okay. Okay, we're back. All right. So this is the breakdown. The super universe, there he is back again.
It's the way it works.
All right, Gary, you're
Murphy's
causing
Law,
problems
Murphy's Law.
tonight. Let me unmute him. No, he's got to unmute himself. Okay.
Okay.
Gary, I muted you because all the noise, we couldn't tell what was going on here. You'll have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see if it'll
Hey.
let me do that.
Okay, I thought you was gonna be lucky
You got
tonight, but I found the unmute button, so,
Okay,
no, I got a
Alright.
phone, I heard it coming in. So I
Yeah.
walked, I thought I got away from you, but evidently I didn't.
all right.
I
So this
apologize.
this is the chart in front of you needed to see, okay? This
Mhm.
is the super universe level. And our super universe is called Orvanton, okay?
Oh,
We only know the name of one of the 7 super universes, and that's ours, Orvanton.
I only
Okay.
have, I only see me. Where's the screen? I don't know
do
what
not know. You must have hit something else.
screen share. Oh, I got it. Okay, got it now.
Okay. And the capital of Orvanton is Uversa. Okay. And Uversa, the capital of Orvanton, has 490 architectural spheres. And we're going to talk about these a little bit later tonight. Okay. Underneath that, it says, excluding Paradise Havona spheres, the plan of the universe organization provides for the following units. This is where I was trying to get down to show you that we are 1/7 of the number above. All right. So for a single super universe, it's 1/7 of all of these figures. Okay. So that if you look at that, the way to look at it, you could turn every one of those 7s into 1s. And that's the number for a single universe. You still with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have one super universe, how many major sectors you're going to have?
1 in 12 zeros.
10. No. Major sectors is 70, so you'd have 10.
Right.
Right? Right? Makes sense?
Yes.
All right. Now,
Yep.
if you turn the minor sectors into 1, that means that for minor sectors, for our super universe would be 1,000.
Correct.
Right? Makes sense?
Yes.
All right. So the local universes of just our 7th part of the super universes would be 100,000
100,000.
local universes. So that means that there's 100,000 creator suns in the 7th super universe. Make sense?
In our own local universe.
In our own local super universe.
There's
Yeah.
100,000
Creator suns.
greater sons.
In our own super universe.
Man, that's a big family.
That's a big
Yes.
family, right? So
Mhm.
that means there's 10 million constellations. You still with me? If you
Mhm.
take the 7 and turn it to 1, you got 10 million, right? So that means there's 1 billion local systems like Satania, 1 billion local systems in our 7th super universe. You still with me?
Wow. Yeah. I have a
All right.
question, Roger.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the first mentioned world, let's say,
You're right.
and we are still in our local system.
Local system, that's correct.
Yes. So who do we deal with? Any of the inhabited worlds within our local system?
Yes, that's all.
But that's still
Okay.
pretty big, right? Because
That's
that's
still-
1,000 planets.
Yeah, that'll
But
eventually
for
be,
us,
it's 619 right now, but
For
it'll eventually
us.
be 1,000 planets.
yeah.
Right.
So for us, we would have 600 different types of mortals
Yes,
that we'll be dealing with in the first mentioned world.
that's exactly right.
Wow.
Now,
So-
remember, there are mansion worlds just exactly like we have in our system, Satania. There's 7 mansion worlds for every single system too.
Oh, so we will mix with them.
We won't mix with them until we leave the local system.
Okay,
When we go to the constellation level, we will mix with all 100 systems in that constellation.
all right,
Wow.
Okay. All right.
yes,
So that's where it starts to multiply as we go up. Okay. So inhabited planets, that means there's 1 trillion inhabited planets in just our 7th super universe.
Well, there will be eventually.
There will be. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Right. They're not all out there yet, but that's what the number will eventually be
Before
Right.
it's settled in light and life.
before it's settled in
Wait.
light and life. Yeah. So do you think there's a big hurry to get to light and life?
Yeah,
No,
Don't
I
think so.
actually, it's reassuring to me because, you know, I'm not the world's smartest guy, so I figure I'm way ahead of at least 40% of the ones that aren't even made yet in the super universe, so I can coast. Even if
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's keep going. The super universe of Vonnegut contains 1/7 of the number shown above, right? On everything. That leads plus or minus 1 trillion inhabited planets in our super universe, right? That's the point of this is. Okay, so it gives us some other information here too. The standard day of the local universe is 30 days of Urantia time. Okay, so 1 day in Jerusalem is 30 days of our time. Okay, a standard years for Jerusalem would be 100 standard days, which is 3,000 Urantia days. So a year basically in Jerusalem, you can multiply these out. You know, I mean,
about
it's just
9 years, 8-9 years.
it
Yeah.
goes faster there, basically,
yes, it does.
much
Okay.
faster.
Also, to be admitted to the super universe circuits permanently requires 2 things: physical stability and spiritual loyalty, right? Do we have either one? No.
No.
Right?
Entering to the super universe circuit requires physical stability and spirit. You mean of the planet or of the individual?
The planet itself. Okay, so the physical stability, we aren't even close to being a stable planet yet, are we? We have earthquakes, we have tsunamis, we have storms, meteors hitting. We're not a stable planet yet, are we? We're a young planet, right? And spiritual loyalty, they're talking about the entire planet being spiritually loyal to Michael. You follow me?
what
Yes.
circuits are they talking about?
These are the permanent super universe circuits, not the local circuits. Okay. Now we have the ability to get some of the benefits from some of the circuits already, right? But we are not considered part of the system or the circuit system of the 7th or all 7 super universes until this happens. Okay, so we're really on a trial basis for everything. You follow me? We don't have either one of these. And before,
Sorry, Margaret, I can't talk.
why this is so important, before we reach light and life, these 2 things have to be completely finished. Okay, we haven't even finished all the Jesus hasn't even finished all the planets for our local universe, has he? So they're definitely not physically stable, and they're not going to be spiritually loyal yet, because they're still barbarians that's not even come up yet, right?
And we have no control over
And
the
we have
physical.
no we don't. We don't have any control over that, right? And the spiritual loyalty, we can each individually be spiritually loyal, but we cannot force any other being to become what? Spiritually loyal.
Loyal.
Right? Yeah. Go ahead, Jane.
I could be way out to lunch, but this seems to imply, although it doesn't say, like Rodney said, there is nothing we could do about the physical stability of the planet.
Nothing.
But then again, is there an inference there that spiritual loyalty
Yeah.
would promote the physical stability of the planet?
Bingo.
Wait, what's that?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. Spiritually loyalty of the planet promotes the physical stability of the planet.
Vote with Jane.
Huh?
I vote with Jane. She's right.
She's right. You
But
can't
that's
have a
what-
physical, as long as there's wars and we're sending out nuclear warheads, we're bombing each other, we're killing each other, the planet itself will never be stable, ever.
It's not just that, it's the way we abuse the planet.
We abuse
It's
the planet,
polluting our water and fouling our
using
air.
up our resources. Yes,
Right.
yes,
Yes.
yes. That's
all
all.
of those things.
All of those things work together, and you have to have spiritual loyalty to work together as a whole group, a whole planet, to get those things under control so that we can help stabilize the planet. Make sense?
I think
Yes,
the Urantia Foundation is working on that.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And Roger, did you not say some other class that when it is a sphere, when a planet becomes a sphere, it's no longer subject to earthquakes, tsunamis? Am I wrong in remembering?
No.
You didn't say that.
No, no. No, it'll stay that way for billions of years normally. Okay, and we're going to figure this out if I can get there later tonight, how long it takes to get anything done as far as the local universe. Okay, we're talking about billions of years for everything. Okay, so you can't get in a hurry. All right, so this is a kind of little summary of where we're at. Okay, constellation level. Our constellation, our star groups, Norlashadek is our constellation, the capital of which is Urantia. Remember Urantia? Urantia is where the brush from Urantia came to go to the Garden of Eden. And it's the brush from Urantia that kept Adam and Eve alive and would have kept them alive indefinitely as long as they stuck with the plan they were here to do, right? So Urantia, our constellation capital, sent a plant from Urantia to Urantia to sustain the Caligastia 100 and Adam and Eve, okay? And Urantia has a cluster of 770 architectural spheres. Now, what's an architectural sphere? Do y'all remember what those are? These are created by the celestial beings as capitals or planets for the administration of the local universes. Okay, so architectural spheres are not like regular planets. Regular planets evolve, they come and go. They go through billions and billions of years. They eventually run their course, you use them up, and then they start them over again. Okay, architectural spheres are not like that. They're created, they stay created, and they'll be that way through eternity. Okay, that's the difference between the two. That's why all the capitals are what? Architectural spheres. Perfect spheres, really. Okay. Urantia is approximately 100 times larger than Urantia, so it's a huge sphere, right? The constellation consists of 100 local systems, all right? So our constellation has 100 local systems in it. The weight, the time, weight, distance measurement is the same as it is on Salvington. The same as it is on the local, all through the local universe. The atmosphere utilizes both material and merontial gases, which allows incredible gardens. That's why they could take a plant from Urantia and bring it to the earth, because it survives under oxygen just like it did on Urantia. Urantia has a sea of glass, a crystal landing field, and a receiving resurrection halls for ascenders. So there's actually a resurrection hall on Urantia also. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of our local universe. All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of information. All right, Gary, would you take the next paragraph? These universes of time.
These universes of time and space are all evolutionary. The creative plan of the Paradise Michaels always proceeds along the path of gradual evolution, evolve
Right.
and progressive development of the physical, intellectual, and spiritual natures and capacities of the manifold creatures who inhabit the varied orders of spheres comprising such a local universe.
So what's it telling us? It's telling us all the universes of time and space, all 7 super universes. Everything in this mortal 7 super universes all evolve on an evolutionary process. Okay? Everything, nothing excluded. Now, the difference between all the planets and all the beings and everything that goes on in the 7 super universes, there is one type of planet that does not evolve. You know what that is? Architectural spheres. That's right. They don't evolve. They are created. They take millions of years to create them, but once they're created, they never evolve past that point. Okay, so that's the two extremes: the evolutionary planets and then the architectural spheres. Well, there's one right in between that too. Guess what that is? Havona spheres. They're created perfect. Everything in paradise and everything in Havona is created perfect. It does not evolve. Make sense?
Are the architectural spheres perfect?
The architectural spheres, when they finish them, they're as close to perfection as you can get in the 7 super universes. You with me?
But they're not perfect.
They're not completely, they're close to perfect, but they're not perfect, right? Because they're created by the staff of the creator sons, okay? And unlike the Son of God, the original Son of God, and the infinite spirit, God the Father and God the Son created perfect spheres and worlds in Havona, right? That cannot happen with the creator sons, because the creator sons has to gain what? Experience. You got it. They evolve like we do. All right. They're created perfect beings. Okay. The creator sons are created perfect, but they cannot create perfect duplicates of Havona. They get as close as they possibly can. And that's what their local universe are, is their experiments of them trying to create perfect universes as close as possible, and the rest of it evolves.
So it would be better to be inhabit planet 100 as opposed to a planet 1000 as opposed to 671.
Not really, because all of them evolve, Gary. They all start out at the very basic level and they evolve up to higher levels. Every single one of them. So it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
So we evolve to perfection, possibly?
That's the idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
James.
after he had a couple hundred tries, he may be getting good, you know?
Well, they're good to start out with, or they would be making a couple hundred tries. Yeah, Jane.
I only want to make a comment on this, what we're talking about. You know, when I watch nature shows, they're discovering more and more how perfect creation is, how
Many things
everything,
are.
how
yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
created it is, and how everything, right down to a fly, has a purpose, a meaning, and a function. And it's us humans that distorts the perfection of creation.
That's what they always come back to, meanings and values, right,
Yeah.
Jane? That's what it's talking about.
That's
Yeah.
what
I'm
it's
looking
all
at a
about.
lot of nature shows that are showing while they're reintroducing certain animals or birds or whatever, where they've been eliminated because of the stupidity of humans, and
Uh-huh.
it wrecked the ecosystem. So now they're bringing them back in to make the ecosystem exactly like it should be, like it was originally
Yeah.
planned.
To straighten it out, right? Melanie?
Yeah.
Well,
Straighten it,
somebody's figured out that we're messing it up, and they're trying to straighten it out.
trying to fix it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I
All
watched
right.
That
it
is
too.
exactly why there's wolves in Yellowstone National Park now. They reintroduced them back because the
Uh-huh.
elk herds were getting too large or something. Or
Yeah, it's
deer.
it's part of the natural ecosystem there. So the point of this whole paragraph, though, is this, that everything evolves. Okay, so evolution is the standard for all 7 super universes. There's no exceptions to that. Okay.
Can I ask a question? Is Havona, is it a universe?
It's more of it's its own, more like it's its own super universe. Okay, it's part of the master, it's part really of paradise. Havona, once it's attached to paradise, they would never be unattached again. And both of them are of perfection, Millie, so they don't evolve, either one.
Well, you were
Now,
talking about them trying to make universes here or planets here to perfection, like
Havona.
Havona, but
Yeah.
Havona isn't evolving.
No, it's not, but
yeah.
that's the whole point. Havona does not have to evolve, it's already perfect. We have to evolve to get the 7 super universes closer to perfection.
Uh-huh. In another zillion years.
In another
Thank you,
zillion
Rob.
years. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one. We're reading slow. Millie, would you take the next paragraph, please? You're muted, Millie.
You really want to hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Urantia belongs to a local universe whose sovereign is the God-man of Nebadon, Jesus of Nazareth, and Michael of Salvington. And all of Michael's plans for this local universe were fully approved by the Paradise Trinity before he ever embarked on the supreme adventure of space.
Okay, so before Michael left paradise, his plans for his local universe was already approved by the Trinity itself. Okay, so he got the check mark, if you would. Yep, everything's in order. You're ready to go. Okay, so all sons of God have to get this approval from the Paradise Trinity before they start on their bestowals, right? And their plans. All right. And Jane, would you take the next ones?
The sons of God may choose the realms of their creator activities, but these material creations were originally projected and planned by the paradise architects of the master universe.
All right, we just talked about them last week a lot, didn't we? Right? Okay, so the architects of the master universe comes up with the plans of where all these local universes are going to be, and the creator sons goes from these plans and chooses a location for their local universe out of these plans. Okay, so it has to be pre-approved by the architects of the master universe. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, physical emergence of universes. Rodney, would you take the first one on that?
Yes. The pre-universe manipulations of Space Force and the primordial energies are the work of the Paradise Master Force organizers. But in the super universe domains, when emergent energy becomes responsive to local or linear gravity, they retire in favor of the power directors of the super universe concerned.
Okay, remember the Paradise Master Force organizers, they're the top level, right? Okay, so they start things out and they have a whole crew of beings that helps them do that. Here's kind of a picture of it. And this is the Master Force organizer, and it says, subsequent to the initiation of such nebular revolutions, the living force organizers simply withdraw at a right angle to the plane of the revolutionary disk, and from that time forward, the inherent qualities of energy ensure the progressive and orderly evolution of such a new physical system. So what we're looking at here is the Andrometer nebulae, okay? And so these master force organizers go perpendicular to Andrometer, and then at that angle, and then that starts the whole process of the universe creation going, okay?
They start the nebula.
Yes, the nebula is part of the original architects of the master universe, right? And the unqualified absolute. Now, Jane, you got a question?
Is that what you called soup once upon a time?
Yeah, you could call it the primordial soup if you want, but we usually use that term when we're talking about the life implantation, the primordial soup. That's usually we're talking about life implantation on a planet. But in essence, the master force organizers start all the stuff together to make matter available so that they can start creating nebula as itself. And the wheels initiated by all this stuff is initiated by the Paradise Force organizers. And there's a picture of that right on the screen right now. The spiral and other nebula, the mother wheels of the spheres of space, are initiated by the Paradise Force organizers.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
The other week, I think I compared the Paradise Master Force organizer to a utility company in which the Master Force organizers basically went out and set everything up, like the substations, lines, etc.
Right, right.
And then the super universe, I can't find the other
The
phrase.
power director. You're talking
The
about the power director.
Are the ones that administer it, like the electric companies.
Yeah. So the Master Force organizer.
Am I in the right area?
Yeah,
there?
you're still close, but it's a little bit higher than that, though, Gary, because the Paradise Force organizers really start everything up. The regular Master Force organizers actually get it going, and then the power directors of the local universe are the ones that actually start the power circulating through the local universe. Okay, so it's like a tri thing. It's three different steps. Okay.
And Roger,
Yeah.
the material to create nebulas
Right.
comes from,
The Paradise Force organizers.
but they
Well,
bring
actually, it
from.
comes, yeah, it comes from them, but it actually comes from the unqualified absolute.
I thought it was transported from neither paradise, from below.
It is, but that comes through the unqualified absolute.
So I wonder who transports the
That's
material.
probably part of the Paradise Force organizers' job.
Probably.
more likely. But it's because the unqualified absolute draws the primordial, whatever you want to call it, matter, soup, whatever, out from nether paradise to make it possible. Now, the interesting part about that is this, Rodney. This is still happening in our 7 super universes.
Of course.
We're not just talking about the outer space levels. This is still happening in our local universes because the startup of this stuff is still going on for each area of any local universe that's not finished, right? The power directors have to have everything functioning when the creator sun and the local universe mother spirit starts manipulating the matter. They have to have the power to do that, and it comes from the power centers of the local universe. Make sense? So all this process is going in our own super universe constantly right now. And we're talking about billions of years for all this stuff to happen, right? All right, now let's read the top of this slide. This is interesting too. It gives you a perspective of time. 700,000 trillion years ago, this is trillion now, years ago, the Androniverse system was assuming gigantic proportions, and additional physical controllers were dispatched to 9 surrounding material creations to afford support and supply cooperation to the power centers of this new material system, which was so rapidly evolving. So this is a picture of the local universe power centers and the associate power directors that were dispatched to help the Androniverse system to get going. So it's not just a couple of these guys that do this, right? We're probably talking about millions to billions of them.
Yes, it's 700 billion years ago.
Yeah, and it's 700 billion years ago. We're not talking million, we're talking billion of years ago. What did I say, trillion?
No.
I may have said trillion, I think I did, but it's 700 billion years ago. Hard for me to keep my figures correct sometimes. All right. All right, now I'm going to have to move a cat here. Thank you. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so I can see to read this to y'all. Michael of Nebadon, that's our creator son, right, is the 611,121st bestowal of the eternal sun upon the universes of time and space, and he began the organization of your local universe about 400 billion years ago. So Michael started our creation 400 billion years ago. It was scarcely a million years subsequent to this epoch that Michael of Nebadon, a creator son of paradise, selected this disintegrating nebula as the site of his adventure of universe building. Almost immediately, the architectural worlds of Salvington and the 100 constellation headquarter groups of planets were begun. It required about 1 million years to complete the clusters of specially created worlds. The local system headquarter planets were constructed over a period extending from that time to about 5 billion years ago. All right, we're still in the billions of years, and I want to show y'all something else. Let me bring it back down. All right. This is Salvington up here in the top. See this where I have my mouse? Okay. This is the 100 constellation headquarters worlds. Okay. What's interesting about this is it says almost immediately the architectural worlds of Salvington and the 100 constellation headquarter groups of planets were begun. It required almost 1 million years to complete the clusters of specially created worlds. So it took at least 1 million years for the architectural sphere that's the headquarters of the local universe, Salvington, to be created. 1,000,000 years. That's just one planet. All right. All right. And what I wanted to show you is this next slide down here, but before we get off of it. 200 billion years ago witnessed the progression of contraction and condensation with enormous heat generations in the Andromedan central cluster or nuclear mass. The oldest inhabited planets of Nebadon date from these times. 200 billion years ago, the oldest planets. That was the first ones that were being created. You see, first inhabited planet Nebadon, and there's Salvington. There's our architectural sphere of Michael's creation. It's where he lives. And here's what's really interesting. For the rest of the 100 system headquarters worlds, there's 100 little green dots there, right? From 200 billion years ago to 5 billion years ago. So how much is that? That's 195 billion years, right?
For what?
That's what we're going to talk about. Huh?
For the developing.
For the development of the local system headquarters were constructed over a period extended from that time to about 5 billion years. So all these local system headquarters worlds like Satania, right? All the 100 system headquarters worlds took 195 billion years to create them all. Think anybody's getting in a hurry?
Takes a lot of patience for the Lord.
That's right. A lot of patience. Okay. Now we're going to get into some more of this primordial stuff here. Diane, would you take the next one, please?
Makes me feel so small.
I agree, Rodney. I'm
Me
thinking
too,
that.
me too.
Oh,
1 cent.
And then what about the 4 outer space levels? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about this, there's 2 things that hit me. Number one, I looked up on the Google and it says Earth was made like 4.6 billion years old, which is contrast to 6 billion as to the book says. And also from what I understand, you just said that the universe was not made of a big bang. It was made of a big contraction. Am I correct there?
Well, it's not made of a big bang or a big contraction, period. It came into existence on its own. Really, if you think about it, Gary, the central universe, all right, and that's what we call the separate universe, not the 7 super universes, but the central universe. The central universe consists of Paradise, the satellites around Paradise, and Uversa, and all the billion worlds of Uversa. That's the central universe, okay? That was created or eventuated or came into existence by the will of the God the Father and God the Son, and they don't tell us how long that took. They say there was no big bang, there was nothing. So all this stuff was created by God the Father and God the Son, but there never was a big bang. The way our scientists get the concept of the big bang is space respiration. The universe expands out 1 billion years and then it comes back 1 billion years. Okay. So this expansion gives the appearance that there was at one time a big explosion and everything's moving out, but it's not. It's the normal space respiration of all the universes. Okay. So that's where they get that from. Make sense? We got a picture of that in one of our papers.
We should spread the rumor that the universe is breathing in and out.
That's exactly what it does. But it takes 1 billion years each direction. Yeah.
Yeah, but we should mess with their minds with that.
Yeah, really.
Okay. These power directors function alone in the pre-material and post-force phases of a local universe creation. There is no opportunity for a creator sun to begin universe organization until the power directors have effected the mobilization of the space energies sufficiently to provide a material foundation, literal suns and material spheres for the emerging universe.
Okay, so the power directors has to put everything together, get all this stuff started before the creator sun has anything to work with. You got that? So the creator sun steps in after the power directors have started the pre-material and post-force phases of the local creation. The creator sun steps in, the local universe mother spirit, and then they start to manipulate the energies and the matters to help create the suns and the material spheres for their local creation, the emerging universes. Make sense? So it's not like the creator sun goes out and goes, clicks his fingers and say, bang, there's a planet. You know, a lot of it goes in. It's an evolved thing. All right. Let's see, Gary, would you take the next one? The local universes.
The local universes are all approximately of the same energy potential, though they differ greatly in physical dimensions and may vary in visible matter content from time to time. The power charge and potential matter endowment of a local universe are determined by the manipulations of the power directors and their
predecessors,
as well as by the creator sun's activities and by the endowment of the inherent physical control processed by his creative associate.
Who would be his creative associate? The local universe mother spirit.
Yes,
right? Yeah. Okay, so they basically step in. All the local universes basically have the same energy potential, but how much the energy and the physical matter they use from time to time varies from universe to universe. But all this stuff has to be in place by the power directors and their predecessors, which is the master physical controllers, paradise master physical controllers. All this has to be in place before the creator sun and the local universe mother spirit starts to create their local universe, right? All right. Millie, would you take the next one?
Yes, I'm turned on. The energy charge of a local universe is approximately 1/100th of the force endowment of its superuniverse. In the case of Nebadon, your local universe, the mass materialization is a trifle less. Physically speaking, Nebadon possesses all of the physical endowment of energy and matter that may be found in any of the Ovanton local creations. The only physical limitation upon the development expansion of the Nebadon universe consists in the quantitative charge of space energy held captive by the gravity control of the associated powers and personalities of the combined universe mechanism.
Okay, why do you think the local universe energy charge is 1/100,000 of force?
it is the one, because we're 100,000ths of
The
universe.
super universe.
Yeah.
That's right. So our energy force or charge is 1/100,000 of the super universe, right? So there's 1/100,000 for every single of the 100,000 local universes. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, it all comes together.
Sort of.
Sort of. All right. Let's try to get one more paragraph in here before we quit tonight. We'll go on universe organization next time. How about Jane? Would you take that last paragraph?
Okay. When energy matter has attained a certain stage in mass materialization, a paradise creator son appears upon the scene, accompanied by a creator daughter of the infinite spirit. Simultaneously with the arrival of the creator son, work is begun upon the architectural sphere, which is to become the headquarters world of the projected local universe. For long ages, such a local creation evolves, suns become stabilized, planets form and swing into their orbits, while the work of creating the architectural worlds which are to serve as constellation headquarters and system capitals continues.
Okay, so when all this energy and mass and everything's got together, the paradise creator son, the Michael, shows up with the local universe creative daughter from the infinite spirit. And at the same time as their arrival, then the architectural sphere of the capital of that local universe begins, and that takes over 1 million years. Okay, so the question is, where do they hang out until the capital sphere is complete, do you think?
Havona?
The construction shed.
The construction shed?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. They might float around out there in space until that point. I
They
do
set
not
up
know.
tents, eh?
They set up tents on the sphere, on the sphere it's being built, right?
They're nomads.
They might have an RV.
Who knows? But it takes 1 million years to build their sphere of the location. And once that's built, both the creator son and the creative mother spirit cannot leave that central location, because the architectural sphere of Salvington is dead center of the local universe of Nebadon. And what keeps the local universe of Nebadon running is the presence of Michael and the local universe mother spirit. You with me? Now, Michael cannot leave for the first, how many billions of years, because he is part of keeping everything going, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it becomes stable to a certain point, then he can start his bestowals. So now you can see why Michael may have started 800 billion years ago on this local universe, but he couldn't start his bestowals till, a few billion years ago, right? Because he couldn't leave the capital. Make sense?
Mhm.
Talk about patience.
Mhm.
That's what
Can
it's
you
all
imagine
about.
how many times he had to move the furniture, repaint the wall? Yeah.
Let me give you one more thing to think about. Think about when Jesus was a carpenter on earth. Don't you think he was kind of limited a little bit? Here I am building walls and putting boards together, and I built the universe.
And he had no home. He said,
Yeah,
birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.
nowhere to lay his hair. That's right.
Yeah, so he was
So-
like the creator's son in the beginning.
Yeah, comes back full circle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I read somewhere that Jesus did a stint as a boat builder.
He did. It's in the Jesus papers.
Okay, and he designed a specific type of boat, was pretty stable, etc. And to this day, there's a boat design out there that is known as the Jesus boat.
Yeah,
And I don't know if that's true or not, but
it is true. You can go to the Middle East. You could actually see one they dug up from 2,000 years ago. All right, let's have a little prayer, and we're going to close tonight. We'll take this up in section Universe Organization 2 next time, right? All right. So, Millie, would you like to close us in prayer tonight?
Yes, get my speaker
Thank you,
turned
dear.
on. Thank you. Heavenly Father, we are so very grateful for this book that is showing us the way. Help us to follow your path so that we can follow in the steps of Jesus and Christ Michael and follow him home to you. We appreciate all the people that come and study with this, and we really appreciate the questions, because the questions everybody brings up gives us new answers, and we're grateful for that. We're grateful for Roger and Diane and all the work that they do in putting this together. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, Michael of Lebanon. Amen.
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 And thank
Thank
you all
you.
at Facebook for seeing us, and everyone else live. Thank you for joining us. Stop the stream. Yes.